it's Robin. I'm going to be your instructor for the next 6 weeks of combat conditioning. This is a short instructional video on the punches and kicks that we will use for the next 6 weeks. For those of you who have not taken class before, I strongly encourage you to go ahead and put your gloves on, stand up, and go through the motions of these kicks as I teach you. Alright, we're going to start with our boxing stance. Our normal boxing stance is going to be 1 foot in front of the other. It does not matter which leg you have in front. Most people are comfortable with their right foot in front of the other. I know you can't see my feet, but just imagine right foot in front of the other or left foot in front of the other. Just 1 foot in front. With our hands, our boxing stance is here in a protective position, so you're protecting your face, okay? One arm is slightly in front of the other. This is our boxing stance. From there, the first punch we're going to learn is a jab. The jab comes from the front arm and front leg. So, in your boxing stance, whichever leg you have forward, whether it's your right or left, that's which arm you're going to throw for the jab. So again, in my boxing stance, right now, my right arm and right foot are forward. So my jab, I'm going to take a slight step forward. As I extend my arm out, my arm is going to go in a corkscrew motion, so my thumb is at about a 45-degree angle. As I coil back into my stance, I take that slight small step back again. Step out, coil the hand down, step back. Our jab is a punch just to get your opponent away from you, a quick jab to get your opponent away. Again, step in, step back out. Extend, coil back in. If your left foot is in front of the other, you're just going to be standing here. Left arm is going to go. Front arm, front leg with the jab. Step in, step out. Step in, step out. This is what it'll look like on the bag. Alright, so we got the jab down. Front arm, front leg, step in, step out. Our next punch is going to be the straight. The straight is going to come from our back arm and back leg. So again, in our boxing stance here, our jab came from our front arm, our straight is going to come from our back arm, back leg. Okay? We're just going to add it on to our jab. Okay? So with the straight, you did a jab, here you stepped in, you coil back with the jab arm as you extend the straight arm out. Big pivot in the hips. The straight is a power punch, and your power is going to come from your pivot and rotation in your hips, not necessarily from your shoulder, okay? So again, if I'm in my boxing stance, my right foot is in front of the other. I'm going to throw my jab, I step in, and then my straight from my opposite arm, pivot the hips, still turn the thumb down to the ground, step back out, jab straight, jab straight. From the other side, if I have my left foot forward, I do my left jab, and then I pivot the hips, extend the right arm out for that straight, and then step back into my boxing stance, okay? Again, the straight, back arm, back leg. Whichever arm and leg are back, that's where your straight's going to come from. Again, this is what a jab straight combo will look like on the bag. Alright, so we got the jab straight down. Now we're going to add on to that, and we're going to add the hook. The hook comes from the front arm, front leg, just like the jab. Okay, so again, whichever arm and leg you have forward, that's where your hook's going to come from. Granted, we will throw some back arm hooks, but I will specify that in class when we get to it. So the hook, front arm, front leg, in your boxing stance again. Hands up in your stance. We have just thrown the jab straight. Now your hook is going to come from that arm again that threw your jab. Okay, so again, jab straight, and then your hook, you're going to come up, almost a circular motion, palm facing you, thumb up to the ceiling, okay? Elbows up high, like it's on a tabletop, and you snap through, pivoting your hips towards the way you throw, okay? So again, jab straight, circular motion, elbow up high, palm facing you, thumb to the ceiling, snap it through. On the bag, you'll end up hitting the side of the bag. You don't want to hit the front of it so you miss it. You want to hit the side. So big circular motion, elbow up high, so you hit the side of the bag on that hook. Okay? This is what it's going to look like on the bag. All right, so now we have the jab straight hook down, right? Now we're gonna add the uppercut to that combo, okay? The uppercut, very similar to the straight as another power punch, gonna come from your back arm, back leg, okay? So again, in your boxing stance, whichever arm and leg are back, that's where your uppercut's gonna come from. With the uppercut, our uppercuts are not like a video game where we go up to their chin. We go right to their gut, okay? Hitting them right in that stomach region, all right? So again, boxing stance, back arm, back leg. What the uppercut's gonna look like by itself is palms gonna be up to the ceiling. You're gonna coil back here, pivot through your hips, that's where your power is gonna come from. Punch straight out, right into the gut. Again, palm up to the ceiling, okay? Adding that to our jab straight hook combination is gonna look like this. Jab, step forward, straight pivot the hips, circular motion around for the hook, turn that palm up to the ceiling, pivot the hips again, right to the gut for that uppercut, okay? Jab, straight, hook, uppercut, okay? Now, on the bag, you'll have to get pretty close to almost where you're straddling the bag so you don't miss it and you're hitting right into that uppercut, or right into that gut. So we have all 4 punches down, jab, straight, hook, uppercut. The last thing I'm going to teach you is our roundhouse kick. The roundhouse kick is going to come from the back leg. So in our boxing stance, whichever leg you have back, that's where your kick is going to come from, okay? I'm going to explain it first, and then I'll show you the footwork, and then I'll show you it on the bag. So again, the roundhouse kick is going to come from the back leg. Your first initial step, though, is going to come from your front foot. You're going to turn the inside of your foot towards the bag. So the inside of your foot is going to take a big step towards the inside of the bag. You're going to come up with the knee that's kicking, extend out, so you kick the bag, and the top of your foot and the shin should kind of wrap around the bag. Now you really need to work on hip rotation to rotate that hip over so it's the top of your foot and the shin and not the side. A lot of us are not flexible enough to lean over, rotate that hip over, and get the top of your foot in the shin. So you really got to work on that and concentrate on it, okay? I'm going to show the footwork and then show you it on the bag. So in the stance I'm in, my right leg's going to be doing the kicking. As I explained with the footwork, my first initial step is going to come from my front leg. I'm going to turn the inside of my foot towards the bag, okay? Again, inside of the foot towards the bag. My knee then goes up, I extend out. So again, the top of your shin and your foot kick the bag, okay? Speeding it up, step, up, step back, step. Opposite foot, left leg kicking inside of your right foot towards the bag. Up with the knee, extend out. Step back. So there you have it. Jab, straight, hook, uppercut, and then our roundhouse kick. Those are the 4 punches and the 1 kick that we will use most in the next 6 weeks. Again, I suggest that you stand up, try these in your living room, just so you have an idea of what it's going to be like when we start class on Tuesday. I'll help you through Tuesday's class and Thursdays, and then from there you should have them down and we'll be good to go. Again, don't get frustrated. Everybody started where you were, not knowing the punches. We'll get you through it, and pretty soon it'll come natural to you. Can't wait to see you on Tuesday.